Hello my loves, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. Hi, hello-y, my name is Loey. Back in August, I posted my first video on Not Your Normal Kid Show, one of my absolute favorite spooky finds on TikTok to date. You guys love these videos from TikTok user Beeveekee so very much that as soon as there were new ones out, I was getting tagged aplenty in the videos. So I thought that today I would pop on here and give you guys some Not Your Normal Kid Show updates. If you're not familiar with Not Your Normal Kids Show, I would highly recommend you go and watch my first video about it, or just check out the videos on Beeveekee's account. But just to refresh your memory, Not Your Normal Kids Show is a kids show that is anything but normal, and it's hosted by our main character, Dottie. Dottie is this smiling, cheery girl in a polka dot dress and kind of clown-esque makeup. She is, however, quite quick to upset or anger, and when that happens, really creepy things happen in the world around her. She has a friend named Tall Man who helps her out with these episodes, as well as a mother, a character who tends to kind of linger in the shadows and isn't seen very much. Kicking off with episode 6 of Not Your Normal Kids Show here, this one is captioned, "Do you remember your ABCs?" The intro glitches and almost looks like it's like a shot from The Ring or something like that before we see our main character, Dottie.
Today we have an extra special episode. We're going on a picnic. But before we go, we have to let Mother know. We can't leave without telling our parents, can we? Mother, I'm going to the woods for a picnic. Don't worry, I'll be back soon.
If you notice in the background on the chalkboard, it says ABCD equals 1, 2, 3, 4. When Dottie later tells Mother that she's heading out for her picnic, we can see a set of numbers above the door. If you look really closely, they're there. And the numbers are 1, 12, and 12. As she's packing for the picnic, we see another set of numbers. When she actually gets to the picnic spot, we see another set of numbers. And if we follow the code that was given to us on the chalkboard in the beginning of the episode, we receive the message, "All is reborn." Then, just as she's settling in for the picnic, Dottie says that sometimes in this area, you can see wildlife.
It's so beautiful out here. Sometimes you can even see wild animals in these woods. Remember, never interact with wildlife, as it can be dangerous. Oh, hi, Tall Man. Did you come to take me home? Great.
What looks like a shadowy figure of a demon can be seen crawling through the forest towards Dottie. And I've said this theory before, but I personally think that Dottie's eyes go white when she's experiencing genuine fear or when she's in danger in some capacity. I think it's really her only tell. She doesn't emote much with her face. She's just always smiling, of course. When Dottie sees Tall Man, she's not afraid anymore. Her eyes go back to normal and she asks if he's there to take her home. She looks back, the creature is gone, and Tall Man escorts her back to the house.
Well, it looks like that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for going on this adventure with me. It's fun being with friends. I'll see you next time. Bye now.
At first watching this, I thought that maybe the video was suggesting that Tall Man was the demon in the forest. After all, the demon randomly disappeared as soon as we go back to Dottie and Tall Man is standing there. But this next video might suggest otherwise. I don't count these videos that are kind of like in-betweens of the episodes of Not Your Normal Kids Show as episodes themselves, but I do think that they add a lot to the story. I think they give a lot of context, and they're also in the Not Your Normal Kids Show playlist, so they are canon. The one I'm about to show you is captioned, "Are you sure you know who is the victim?" A man sits on a couch, mindlessly flipping through different TV channels looking for something to watch, when eventually he stops on a triangle that flashes on the screen before it transitions into Not Your Normal Kids Show.
Oh, hi! You're up late. Yes, you! I feel like we could be good friends. Why don't you come closer? Closer. Closer.
I thought that was an interesting video to post specifically after the last one, where maybe if you're like me, you took one look at it and you're like, oh, Tall Man is the demon, Tall Man is the problem here. Because if this is Tall Man's origin story, it certainly seems to suggest that he has no idea what's going on here any more than we do. Or at least he didn't when he was taken by Dottie. This could just be like a random guy, a random victim of Dottie's. However, we're going to talk a little bit more about Tall Man in this episode than we did in the previous video that I did covering Not Your Normal Kids Show. And I really feel like Dottie goes out of her way to say that Tall Man is the one who does her dirty work for her. If we look back at this video of Beeveekee kind of like transforming into Dottie, we see that Tall Man is the one who like is standing behind her and then snaps her neck so that she becomes Dottie. And it just seems like he maybe like had a bit of control in this that now I'm not so sure if he does. Like, I've always known that Dottie was in control, that she was the host of Not Your Normal Kids Show, that she was in control of all of this, but I thought the Tall Man had some power or a little sway here. I don't think that anymore. Because if Couch Guy watching TV is Tall Man, he was just dragged into this world without even knowing what he was getting himself into. I fully finished filming this video before I realized that I forgot something that I think would be best popped in here. And I forgot it because I was referencing the Not Your Normal Kids Show playlist on Beeveekee's account as I made this video. But there's one video in particular that is not in that playlist and doesn't necessarily have anything to do with Not Your Normal Kids Show, but there are some weird parallels between it and the video on Tall Man getting grabbed by Dottie. In it, Beeveekee is just sitting and reading a book when suddenly the power goes out. She gets a flashlight and gets up to investigate, and that's when she sees something truly terrifying in the dark. The way that she gets grabbed like that just feels so similar to the video of Couch Guy to me. Like, was that monster something from Not Your Normal Kids Show? Maybe not, but also maybe it is. I just feel like we have surely not seen all of the horrors that the show has to offer. So I thought I would throw that in really quickly because I saved that video and meant to tell you about it, just because I found the parallels between it and then like the Couch Guy getting grabbed, like they were just so interesting when you put them side by side. Episode 7, captioned, "I've missed you," opens a bit differently from the rest.
You're not supposed to be here.
We cut to our usual Not Your Normal Kids Show intro here, and the episode finally begins. It glitches for a moment, and the words "find the truth" can be seen hidden on screen.
I'm so glad to see you again. Oh my, what happened to you? It looks like you've seen a ghost. Did you have a bad dream? Do you know how to get rid of bad dreams? First, you find a sink. Then whisper your dream into running water. done. Remember, dreams can't hurt you. Unless you let them.
As Dottie whispers her bad dream into the sink, we can see what looks like a chunk of black hair like crawling into the pipes. It's very creepy. It doesn't feel so much like a healthy coping method when she does it, but rather an attempt to spread her bad dream, as though it's like an infection that she can inflict onto others. As Dottie says that she should clean her room now, we hear a knock at the door, the same one that we saw in the intro of the video.
I promised I would clean my room today. It's important to keep your space cleanly, so... Have you ever known you were better than the world let you believe?
Dottie's eyes go white. Her smile drops for the first time since we started this series. And she asks a simple question. Have you ever known that you were better than the world let you believe? Then the screen glitches and we see the word manipulator flash for like half a second. Like I said earlier, Dottie's eyes going white, and this is just my theory, there's like no confirmation of this, but it's just the thing that I've picked up on in this series. Her eyes going white really seem to be the main way that she has showed emotion so far into the series. So it's interesting to me that the eyes go white in the same way that we've seen them go white before. And then when her smile finally drops, when she finally shows an emotion that's not this forced, like happy persona, the eyes are completely whited out. I'm taking that as confirmation, baby. And I think that it's important if you're sitting there and you're like, why does this matter so much? I think it's important to know what Dottie is thinking, because we're constantly getting these like phrases on screen, these glitches, which we'll talk more about later, like manipulator. She'll say something and somebody is calling her a manipulator, a liar. They're saying that she's not telling the truth. Dottie ends the episode by saying that episode 8 of Not Your Normal Kids Show will be a Q&A. And just as promised, the next episode of Not Your Normal Kids Show is a Q&A, where she finally answers your questions. However, one question in particular seemed to be at the forefront of everyone's mind.
Where is Tallman?
Have you ever really seen Tallman's face?
Is Tallman behind
Where did
that door?
Tallman come
Because
from?
if he
Donnie,
is...
what do you think of Tallman?
Tallman single?
What's up with all the incidents?
Friends
you
with
have to
Tallman.
Hey,
I am
he's
off
a
to
girl
Snowfield.
that
Friendly reminder that I'm the host of this show. Tallman simply helps me from time to time. Enough about Tallman. I'm your friend, okay?
Dottie seems pretty jealous of the love and attention that Tallman faces. It's even captioned this video as she just loves attention. Dottie reads off various comments throughout this video, but one in particular that really stuck out to me was the question, are we, the watchers, in danger, or will we be in danger?
Of course not. I'm your friend, and friends will always be there for each other. Remember, you can always trust me.
When Dottie says, you can trust me, the word liar flashes across the screen. Her teeth turn jagged, and it feels like we're seeing a glimpse of the true Dottie, a monster in disguise. Another answer I wanted to point out here was when she talks about how Tallman brings more friends to make the show more interesting.
What happens after the show ends? Tallman brings new friends to help make the show more entertaining.
You guys probably already know this, but there are no reoccurring characters in Not Your Normal Kids Show. Not outside of Dottie and Tallman and Mother, at least. Any extra characters that we've seen are only really there for one episode. Like the spider that we saw in a previous episode who said that they were a human once, or the little kid in like episode 2 who said that they didn't want Dottie to turn on the lights. We've also heard Tallman off screen show up with new victims as well.
Bye now. Oh, welcome back, Tallman.
Where am I? Who are you? No, please.
So any characters, any friends that are popping up in the world of Not Your Normal Kids Show are certainly not there for a long time. Nor a good one, if I do say so myself. Maybe this is Tall Man's purpose as Dottie's professional, personal henchman, constantly out getting new victims for her to do God knows what with, all in the name of Not Your Normal Kids Show, then showing up when she needs him most to protect her from any dangers. Anyway, I'm gonna let the rest of this play out for you and then pop in at the end to talk more about the Q&A.
What's behind the door? What door? What, in your opinion, is the key to happiness? To gain the power you knew you deserved? What's your worst nightmare? To be forgotten. How did you start the show? With the help of someone who believed in me. Are you okay? It must take a lot of effort to make a show. Thank you so much for asking. That's so sweet of you. It's my pleasure to put this show on for you all. I just love holding your attention. Outsiders might not feel the same, but what do they know anyway? How do we get to your world? I would love more friends to live with me. First, think of your greatest... Well, it looks like that's all the time we have for today.
Some notable takeaways here were that Dottie's biggest fear is being forgotten, and I think that we can really tell that. I mean, the caption of this is she just loves attention. She talks about how much she loves our attention and how much she doesn't want it to go to Tall Man. The show was also started with the help of someone who believed in her. Then, when asked the question, how do we get to your world, Dottie begins to explain. When suddenly everything glitches out and we receive the message, why would you want to live in hell? Something I've never really stopped to ask myself throughout watching Not Your Normal Kids Show is how these episodes are even posted onto TikTok or how they're broadcast onto TV in the Not Your Normal Kids Show universe. Like when Couch Guy just randomly sees it. We've also seen Not Your Normal Kids Show come up on Beeveekee's phone in like the second Not Your Normal Kids Show video that was ever posted as well. So who is editing and uploading this in this universe, right? Dottie is pretty busy hosting the show, and something tells me that she's not watching all of this back just to give us secret messages. Tall Man is busy being a henchman and off doing Dottie's bidding and protecting her every time that she needs him. And I think Mother is too busy sitting in the dark and being a total freaking creep. So who is responsible for posting the show? I have two theories, and this is important because if we know who is posting the show, we know who is trying to talk to us when these messages pop up on screen, when suddenly the show glitches out and we receive messages that are different to what Dottie is telling us. There are certainly hidden messages throughout Not Your Normal Kids Show, like the first video that we talked about today with all the numbers that spelled out all is reborn, but there's something different about those messages than the ones that randomly glitch onto the screen. So here are my two theories as to who's doing this. One is Dottie. I know I literally just said, why would it be her? But maybe in her moments of clarity as herself, as Beeveekee, she realizes what's happening and is trying to save us from her fate. Asking why would you want to live in hell really points me to this because she knows it all too well. She lives in this hell every single day. She's trapped now as the host of Not Your Normal Kids Show and doesn't want us to suffer the same fate. But my other theory, the one I'm leaning much more towards at this point, is that someone else is out there trying to save us. In this Q&A, whoever is sending us these messages calls Dottie a liar as soon as she says that she's our friend. They called her a manipulator in the last episode too. Let's say that Not Your Normal Kids Show exists in a universe where these episodes don't need to be edited, right? They're all just shot and posted as they're happening because we're in the world of a kids show. That would make these moments of the show cutting out and glitching like this just interruptions in the broadcast, which honestly makes a lot lot more sense than when I initially was like, who is editing these? Who is posting these? Like, probably Dottie would not let these edits slide. I just have to assume that she has final approval of Not Your Normal Kids Show, and she would see that some editor is like screwing up the footage and trying to send out secret messages to her viewers, and that would never fly. So I think that the idea that the broadcast is being interrupted by someone who is trying to protect us from what Dottie has to say is like way more believable. That also explains why these messages are going unnoticed by Dottie and Tallman. Someone is trying to save us as all of this is happening. But who? So much has transpired in the world of Not Your Normal Kids Show from my last video until now that I assume maybe I'll have an answer or at least some more thoughts for you by the time that we come back once again for a Not Your Normal Kids Show update. I so enjoyed popping in here with you guys today to talk about Not Your Normal Kids Show. Truly one of my favorite scary TikTok series out right now. Make sure to check out Beeveekee's TikTok account and all of her socials. I'll have them linked down below. Keep up with this series as it's posting, and don't forget to tag me whenever you see new stuff related to Not Your Normal Kids Show so that I know that it's time to do another update. For now, that's gonna be it for me today. I wanna say a huge thank you to my subscribers who are members of this channel. If you wanna join the channel memberships and get extra members exclusive content, such as members only videos, polls to help me decide on future video topics, members only updates and stuff, you can click the little join button somewhere around the screen, probably next to the subscribe button. We would love to have you. A very special thank you to our VIP loves for their generous support of the channel. I love and appreciate you all very, very much. I love all of you very much, and I will see you in my next video. Don't forget to give this one a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Did I say all these things? I don't think I did. I think I screwed up my outro today. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you liked it, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.